Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another Star Trek review. And this is a very special Star Trek review, because this is Star Trek Week, Day 1. Over the next 5 days, we'll be taking a look at 5 Star Trek items from over the years, leading up to the release of Star Trek Into Darkness on May 17th. So, today we'll be taking a look at one of the older, one of the iconic symbols of the Star Trek community and such, the Galileo Shuttlecraft. This is the classic Star Trek 30th Anniversary Series, 1966-1996, Collector's Edition, Galileo Shuttlecraft by Playmates Toys. This was released back in 1996. This has been in my family's collection for a long time. This is something I received from my parents when I kind of inherited their collection, because my mom's like, "You're a Star Trek fan, look at all this cool stuff." I'm like, yay, stuff I don't have to buy now. Unfortunately, I started realizing that there are gaps in their Playmates collection, so kind of got to fill that in at some point. But I've actually been working on that. That's a whole other story. Anyways, this thing kind of means a lot to me, mostly because until I wasn't a Star Trek fan, but it's a spaceship, and my parents had opened the shuttlecraft up to just have the shuttlecraft out, and I used to play with it and put Spider-Man in the cockpit. I was 6, come on, give me a break. But it was something I've always had as something I had to be careful with when I was playing with it, and I had fun with it. So this thing's still in nice shape. It's in better shape than the actual shuttlecraft was a few years ago. That's a whole story. If you have not heard the story of the shuttlecraft prop from the original series, look it up. GalileoRestoration.com has a great little story about it. The thing's been through hell. It's incredible to read, and they are about to finish restoring the original Galileo Shuttlecraft prop from Star Trek the original series, and they're going to put it in the Houston Space Center, which is cool. So I'm glad that that's happening, and that the Galileo finally will have a home. But go read about it. You can read about how it used to be used as a plaything for children at a school. Oh, that thing's been through hell and back. But that's not what we're talking about today. Well, we kind of are. We're talking about the Galileo Shuttlecraft released by Playmates Toys. This is one of 2 shuttlecrafts that Playmates did release in their toy lines. Full size. I mean, Micro Machines was done by a different company. Never mind. This is one of 2. The other was Shuttlecraft Goddard from Star Trek Next Generation. We may be taking a look at that one next. But this is the original. So for the 30th anniversary, they started doing some more classic Star Trek toys after they had done Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine action figures and vehicles. So this was really nice. And they were doing alternate costumes. Now, I don't have many things from Playmates' original series line yet, as a lot of it was very limited run. I know my parents had just moved when they were coming out that Bridge 7-pack, and so it was really cool having this. Definitely, this came out a year after I was born. This thing is old. I had been talking for 4 minutes. I'm sorry for taking up all this time, but I kind of feel like this is kind of fun stuff to talk about. Anyways, this is the box. The box has been in better shape. Now, you do get an action figure with this one. Shuttlecraft Goddard did not come with an action figure, but it had electronics, which this does not. You get the exclusive Captain James Kirk from Where No Man Has Gone Before. Now, this box has some nice artwork. You can see the Enterprise up here in the Shuttlecraft. You got Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. That's all nice. Captain James Kirk boards the original Galileo Shuttlecraft. Alright, that's fine. Features a removable spring-powered laser cannon. Okay, what the hell? Opens cockpit to reveal highly detailed cockpit. Opens to reveal highly detailed cockpit and co-pilot compartments. Okay. Includes exclusive Captain Kirk. Alright. Authentic replica of the original Galileo Shuttlecraft from Where No Man Has Gone Before. Playmates Toys. I know you don't have the Star Trek license anymore, and you probably aren't watching this video and probably don't care, but the Galileo Shuttlecraft was not in Where No Man Has Gone Before. Pushes up nerd glasses. It didn't appear till the Galileo 7, which was much later in the first season of Star Trek. And it is plastered all over this box that this thing was in where no man has gone before. You are wrong. What's cool about Playmates toys? I'm not going to dwell on that, but I'm going to mention it a lot. Collector's Number Edition number 005970. They serialized every toy. That was a new thing back in the 90s. Shuttlecraft fits 2 Star Trek action figures. On the side, you got the same list of features with that inaccurate little description. Same thing on the bottom. You do have these Star Trek 10 years? 30 years. 30 years. Here. But you can see you got all the information. It's a typical 90s vehicle, and I'm throwing this all over my new set. Note to self, edit that out, because that was terrible. Anyways, you got this going on. So, overall pretty standard. On the back, oh man, that's back of the box. Here's the Shuttlecraft, as you can see here. You have the engine nacelle, alright. Spring power laser cannon, again, what the hell? Pilot chair, alright. Control panel, sure. Astrogator, sure. Scanners, cockpit. Exclusive Captain James Kirk. They want to make sure you know that it's only coming with this. Rear access hatch, main access hatch. Okay. Open the main access hatch to reveal highly detailed cockpit. Remove the Starfleet laser cannon. Place Captain James Kirk at the controls. Slide the hatch open for alternative access. Also, there's clear windows on this. Looking at the toy now, it doesn't have clear windows. Lock on target and fire the spring power laser cannon. Sure. The cell's open for easy repairs. Yay! Join the official Star Trek fan club. That is closed, so don't try it. Complete your 30th anniversary classic collection with Dr. McCoy's medical kit, which I do have. 9-inch Captain Pike. Don't have Thessalonian from the cage. I do have that. These are the 4-inch figures, by the way. Christopher Pike from the cage, Orion Animal from the cage, Mr. Spock from the cage. Don't have any of those. But it's interesting how they did the cage and not the menagerie. Since the cage, I guess, was the new thing. That was the pilot version. Alright, here we go. This might cause nerd rage. Captain's log, stardate 9613.05, Galileo Shuttlecraft, unclassified. The classic Galileo Shuttlecraft is used extensively for extravehicular activities. Equipped with a sublight propulsion and atmosphere entry shielding, the Shuttlecraft is a short-range transport for both light cargo and personnel. Armed with a phaser and defensive shields, the Galileo can operate in limited combat situations. The Galileo is highly maneuverable and often used in covert operations where stealth and strength are a deciding factor. When? Sorry. Under the control of an experienced shuttle pilot, the Galileo is an undeniable asset in the Federation arsenal. Note: assigned to the main shuttle bay of the USS Enterprise 1701, the Galileo is often piloted by Captain James Kirk. His tactical maneuvers of the shuttle are documented in the Starfleet Academy database. End report. Wait, hold on. The Galileo is often piloted by Captain James Kirk. I can't handle you, box. Stop being inaccurate. You're going to describe a toy you're trying to sell. Don't be so inaccurate. I have not seen Kirk fly the Shuttlecraft. And I've seen pretty much all the appearances of the Shuttlecraft. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember when he flew the Shuttlecraft. Speaking of the Shuttlecraft, here is this nice toy. Now, this is, warning you, Playmates again at work. Playmates is a funny company, to say the least. They usually put out good product. Usually, their Star Trek line is one of the most is probably the Star Trek 4-inch action figure line has the widest character selection of any Star Trek toy line, and they did put out a lot of cool ships and vehicles. A lot of their ships have been remade by Diamond Select Toys now. But Playmates does have duds, like their boxes, that I'm not acknowledging anymore. And their new Ninja Turtles line is pretty solid, but their 2009 Star Trek movie line is not so much. Now, 9 minutes and 30 seconds later, we're finally talking about the toy. Now, there's not much to go over here, which is why I kind of spent a lot of time on the box. Why? Because I like to complain about things. So anyways, here is the Galileo Shuttlecraft. Now this is pretty darn accurate. There are some discrepancies I'll go over. The Galileo, USS Enterprise, all good. These are all sticker details. As you notice, this thing is old, so the stickers have started to peel. The windows are blacked out instead of clear, which I would have liked clear. But everything on top looks just fine. The size is pretty nice. You got NCC 17017, USS Galileo 7. You got the, again, stickers are peeling. The nacelles down here look nice. This back section is not quite accurate. It was a bit more inverted, but it does have a gimmick to it. And these landing pieces, as far as I can tell, only this one, they added these, which is kind of, I think, to balance it out better. But there you go, not much you can do. Detail is kind of sparse overall, but so is the thing in the show, so there's really nothing to complain about. You do have this neat little thing where you can open up the door. Well, that's cool. Let's take a figure and... Oh my god, is this thing tiny. I think that... I'm not really sure what happened here. But I think it's supposed to be also on the joke that, well, in the show, you know, a character or an actor that was 6 foot solid was shorter than the door, and yet Spock, who's 6'1", could stand up perfectly inside because it was a different set than the one they used. I think it's some kind of joke on that, because honestly, this thing is not anywhere near big enough to be scaled properly. Oh well, here's the figure. Well, let's take a look at him here now. I want to get this out of the way. There's not really much to him. This is the Where No Man Has Gone Before Kirk. Shares a body with a couple other figures from Where No Man Has Gone Before. The head is your standard Captain Kirk, Planet Star Trek head. He's got the Starfleet badge that technically is inaccurate, technically. But overall, looks really nice, down to his boots. His articulation, he's got the standard Playmates, so he's got the 360 head, the 360 shoulders, the bicep swivel, the elbow bend, the waist joint, the V-crotch rotation, and the knees. So, you got that going on. No accessories, no nothing. Just, this is the only way to get him, so he's kind of neat in that regard. Definitely trying to build a Where No Man Has Gone Before collection. It's something important. Moving on to the interior. Now, this can hold figures, even if it's out of scale. And first, we'll notice... Oh god, what the hell is this? I've mentioned it before, and we're going to get it out of the way now. This is the, looking at that stupid box again, spring-powered laser cannon. Here's a little missile that goes in here, and a little missile, you can aim it and fires at a pretty good velocity. It can pivot a bit. No. There was nothing in the show to have the Galileo ever need that. Moving on, getting this set up here, you can see the inside is very nicely detailed. You do have a Starfleet, let's get that out of the way too while we're at it. You do have a nice Starfleet logo on the seat belt, because, well, 90s thing. You got some sticker detail on here. You do have this nicely detailed cockpit. It's hard to see because of the hatch, but you can see it there. It looks really nice. You got the different little effects, and it does look like it fits the style of the show. It's also got the vents on the front, which is a nice touch. Again, not in scale, because you can easily fit more than 7 people in this thing, and this barely holds 2. So, a slight problem, and it is a problem with the Shuttlecraft Goddard as well. But once you get Kirk in there, I will say that he does look nice in the ship, ignoring the door. And once you close it up, you can't tell that anyone's in there because, hey, guess what? Those are blacked out windows. But once you do have him in there, he's good to go. The seat does slide forward and back for better positioning, but overall, that's pretty much it. Now, you do have, as it does say, a back section. Now this is nice. I always like this double door thing. It latches in place, click it open, bring this down. Now getting someone in the co-pilot seat is harder, but you do have a nice detailed interior. I really wish instead they would have had the top like slide out, because then you could see this nice mold detail. It looks really nice, and I must say. But getting a figure in here is kind of hard. Now, I don't own any other Starfleet officers from the original series, so we're going to use Captain Koloth because it's ironic. Yeah, I don't have many of Playmate's original series line, but I do have Koloth, and I think it'd be ironic that he's being a co-pilot, which, again, would probably be seen next to Kirk and not behind him, much like in the Batmobile. Batman would be sitting next to Robin, not with Robin behind him. But once you get him in there, and then guess what? Once you close this thing up, you can't tell that anyone's inside. It looks absolutely nothing different than if anyone was in there. Last little bits of detail. On the side here, you can open the cell. You can see the detail. It's the same on the other side as well. But overall, I like it. It's a nice little detail. And last but not least, you have, of course, because this thing needs weapons and phasers, there are its phasers or missiles, whichever you prefer. And also, it kind of looks like it's eating something. It's kind of adorable. It looks like a cat. It's a three-eyed cat. Look at the three-eyed cat. Because you get the little ears up here, and you got the eyes, you got the nose, and you got his little mouth. I have just compared one of the most iconic ships in sci-fi history to a cat. You're welcome, Internet. So that's the Galileo Shuttlecraft. What do I think of it? Well, box aside, looking just at the toy, I must say I do enjoy this. This is a nice piece. I would be cautious, for those of you that do have windows with direct sunlight, to not put this near it. As, well, it's kind of white plastic that does have prone to yellowing. It is pretty old, but it's not pretty, it is pretty old. It's from 1996, and it's not too expensive. I've seen them go for like $30 on eBay, which is not bad at all. But I really think it's partially nostalgia, but partially this is a good toy. If you ignore the scaling issue, it looks great on display. It honestly does. And if you want figures inside, you have figures inside. If you don't want figures inside, no difference to the outside. The missile launcher is stupid, and the box is stupid. But overall, I would recommend it to those of you who do like the Galileo Shuttlecraft and are Star Trek fans. Especially the Playmates line, because it's a nice addition to the line as a whole. So that's my recommendation. Not much else to say about the Galileo Shuttlecraft. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned for more Star Trek tomorrow. And stay tuned for Star Trek Into Darkness this Friday. Will I be doing a review of the movie? Well, no, but I'll review something related to the movie sometime this week. But as for the rest of this week, I'm not going to tell you guys anything. You get to wait here till same time tomorrow to find out what is next. Thanks, Soundout saying. Be sure to check out HeroTaku.com for all your latest Star Trek and sci-fi news. And thanks to Soundout saying goodbye.